All right, hey, Dave Reagan here. I'm in downtown Mystic, and behind me is a beautiful new two-story colonial. We call it a federal style home. It's about 2,700 square feet. And as you can see, this house is just being completed. We'll go inside in a second. But one of the things I want to talk about, when you're building new homes, you have to be very careful how you place the house on the property, the elevation of the property, the elevation of the home. As you can see from the road, if you just look at the road here, we're down here, and as you go pan back up, you can see how we've elevated this house. And the reason we've elevated this house is that we're in a high water table area. Actually, we're in a flood zone down here in Mystic, and what we did was we actually took it to FEMA and we remapped this whole area. To pick the houses up out of the ground, we did what we call a LOMA application, letter of map amendment, with fill, and now we have no flood insurance to worry about, and we've got the houses high enough up out of the ground. When we do this, we have to worry about the aesthetics of the home. You can see that we put in a retaining wall to soften up the slope from the house to the road. Very important when we build houses that aesthetically they look right. They look like they should be placed on the property the right way. Oftentimes when we're looking at land, we forget these things as we buy a piece of property. We've got to make sure that we're not putting our house down into the water table. And because this land is very flat, if you pan this way to the right, you can see the land is very flat. So when we run footing drains, where are we going to run the footing drains to? In this case here, we've got them up high enough that we're not going to worry about the water table. However, in the basement, we've put a footing drain with a sump pump backup in case we ever have a water hurricane, a 50-year or 100-year storm. So right now, as you can see, we're looking at the front porch, looking at the front door, and I want to take you inside the house in a second. But again, this gentleman here who built and designed this house, he spent some money on his landscaping. He actually put some sod down. A lot of times people, they'll spend a lot of money on the inside of the house, and when it gets to the outside, they'll have to spend money later. But it's nice if you can do some of this as you're moving into the home, because it just looks just much beautiful in that respect. Sod is a really good product that we use. A lot of times people will hydroseed or seed. Problem with that is you get a lot of erosion with rain and so forth, and you tend to, for the next year or two, you have to work the soils and work the land. With sod, once you put it down, it goes for around 55 cents a square foot installed. So it's very good to do this if you have the extra money. So let's go inside. We're going to look inside right now. All right, now we're on the top tier here of the property. As you pan back down, we were just down there. You can see the slope coming off the walkway here. Again, we've picked the house up out of the water table. We've put a retaining wall in here to make it look aesthetically pleasing from the road. As you turn around here and you look towards the porch, a lot of times porches, they look great, they're functional, but this can disguise the looks of the house being up out of the air. As you pan through this porch, we've built this porch with what we call an ipe wood. It's a Brazilian wood. It's very strong, very dense wood, but everything else is all maintenance free. We've got fiberglass columns, we've got the vinyl siding, we've got vinyl wrap around the windows, and we use AZEK corner boards. So now this is really a maintenance-free home for the homeowner, other than the ipe. A lot of times people will put a little polyurethane down, maybe once a year, depending on the weather, or they'll just let it go naturally gray. It'll eventually just weather out and it'll be a gray look. So let's go inside. I want to show you this beautiful house. All right, we're going to walk in this beautiful home right now. It's not totally done, but it looks really nice. The people are excited. They're going to be moving in. They spent about 7 months building this house, and prior to that, they had the design to go through and also the permitting process. But this house is a really nice looking home. Let's take you inside. As we walk in here, we're going to see the foyer area, and if you can just kind of pan around here, the nice thing about building a new home, you can pick out light fixtures, you can pick out the colors of the paints. You look over there, you see the staircase going to the second floor. I'm going to take you up there in a second. And as you come down through here, look over to the left here, you see a closet. Now this is a closet that it's got tall doors. Okay, these are bifold doors. And this is going to be the coat closet for people when they come in. 8-foot tall doors. We've got 9-foot ceilings. You can see the beautiful crown molding. We've got 3.5-inch colonial casing around the doors and windows. Very professionally painted out. As you come over here, we got a beautiful half bathroom, pedestal sink with a mirror above it. The customers picked out their light fixtures. They picked out these fixtures from the local plumbing supply house, and it's a very nice look. Very clean, very sleek. A lot of people like to have vanities in their half baths, but the trend's been going to pedestal style sinks. As you walk through here, we're going to come into the kitchen, and let me just stand back a little bit here. Now this kitchen is a very big kitchen. It's got a big island, as you can see, with a tiered island on top of it. Works out very well for entertaining. When you look at this kitchen, you see granite countertops. Granite countertops are one of those durable surfaces out there. A lot of people are going with granite today. There's Corian countertops, silestone. There's a lot of different countertops you can pick from. They decided to go with granite. Very good when you're cooking and so forth, very durable. Behind me here, we've got some cooking situation over here. We've got a gas cooktop. This was by Wolf. Beautiful tile backsplash they put in throughout here. They picked the colors out, very muted colors with their brushed cabinets, and they really spent some time on the design here, and that's why it looks so good. Right here we've got the primary sink right here, looking out into the yard. We've got the sprayer here, all brushed nickel components. Over here we've got a prep sink. This prep sink is nice when you're cooking and so forth and preparing food. We've got this here. Pass up here, people can have stools on the other side of the tier, which is great. Again, what people like today is the open floor plan, and as you come down and stand right there, you can pan over here, you can see the open floor plan. So we've got a great room over here, which is good with a fireplace. In fact, let me just grab this switch here. A lot of people like gas fireplaces today, because just with a flip of the switch, and let's see if that thing comes on, and it does. Look at that, it comes on. It actually throws out heat in the wintertime, and you can get some radiant heat off of that gas fireplace. So it's really nice to see that. Plus it looks great. And for a couple $1,000s, that gas fireplace, you know, it's not a wood burning fireplace, but it really works well. And when I'm done with it, I just hit an off switch on my remote, and I'm ready to go upstairs to go to bed. Behind you, let me just come over here, we've got a breakfast or dining room area. So this has got a nice nook here, a lot of light coming in the afternoon. Table would go here. Eventually over here, the sliding glass door, we'd have a deck or a terrace, and the homeowner's deciding what to do right now. As far as the windows and doors, this is a sliding, Anderson sliding, or they call it a glider door with a transom above it. And over here, the windows and behind me, they're all double hung windows. Today there's a lot of double hung, or there's a lot of windows to choose from. These are an Energy Star rated window, very efficient. They tilt in for cleaning, bottom sash and top sash with a full screen. It's vinyl, so you don't have to worry about painting these windows. Really good component. You can look at the baseboard here real quick. We've got baseboard here, which is 7 inches. You know, typically we start out at 5 inches or 3.5 inches. The homeowner spent a little bit more money for the material, and we went with 7 inches. You see this wall that we've got here. This wall was built kind of to give it some division from the great room area to the dining room area, but still to let air through and to see on both sides. But we've got some decorative columns up, which looks great. As you look back towards the kitchen here, if you want to stand back, today a lot of people like pediment lighting, which is nice. We space them out accordingly. You can see the lighting above that, which we've got some recessed lights. That works out pretty well. And in fact, over here in the cabinet here, a lot of people like to do these glass doors to put some of their items in. And we put some lighting in here. I think if we, see, we turn them on. So you got some nice, we got puck lights inside the cabinets. And we've got what we call under cabinet lighting here. Kind of throws a little accent, a little nice look at nighttime when you're ready to go out and to come back home. The cabinets, we picked these out. These are called Seville, the Seville line out of Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wisconsin. In fact, a lot of the Green Bay Packers have these same cabinets. It's a nice cabinet, self-closing doors. These drawers are full extension, all wood cabinet. It's a painted cabinet, but we call it a brush. It's got a little brush tone to it, and self-closing is great. And again, the doors here, when you open them up, they have self-closing doors on them. Really a nice cabinet for the price. They're made here in, they're made out in Wisconsin, as I said. All right, now what I want to do is I want to take you back over here, which is the mudroom area. The mudroom area being over here as you walk in from the garage. And I'm going to open this really quick. I don't know what's out here. It's probably not cleaned up. But you can see a 2-car garage that we've got here for him if you pan in there. And we're, like I said, we're down to the end for construction. Still cleaning up some things. and we've got the lawnmower there to cut that beautiful grass outside. So we shut this door. This is going to be a fire rated door. You got to have fire rating doors between the garage. Come into the mudroom here. Now let's say you don't want to see the mudroom when you have guests over. We've got a nice pocket door that slides this way and back that way. So as you walk in with your groceries, you're in the kitchen. Over here behind me, if you want to just look in here, we've got a pantry cabinet, pantry area, and it's got some nice shelving in there to load up a bunch of things. A lot of people like this. This takes the place of cabinetry. Cabinetry costs money. This is a way of storing some things. Back behind here, as we walk through here, we call this the study or the office. Could be a bedroom, could be a kid's room to come in and play. So this room here is separated from the first floor activities. Nice features here again with the crown molding wrapped around. You can see the crown, you can see the beautiful Windsor trim around the windows. Wood floors, 7-inch base. Over here, what we've got is a little alcove. You know, eventually, I think what the homeowner's going to do here, he's going to have a desk here with his laptop computer, some bookshelves and so forth that will be built right in here. So a nice situation. We've got his phone and his cable TV right here, and some outlets for him to plug into. I wanted to also show you this real quick as you stand there. We've got another pocket door, but in this case, we've got a glass pocket door. Which you put in there, that's nice to let some natural light in from here over to here and back and forth. So that's a nice feature. Let's do this. We're going to walk upstairs. I'm going to cut it and we're going to go upstairs to the second floor.